Hey everybody, welcome to WXXZ 2 o'clock a.m. hour of radio power. On tonight's show, we have the Reverend Bobby Lee Lee. He's the spokesperson for the KJV Fundamental Baptist Radio Chapel of the Airwaves.
Hi!
And we also have brought to our discussion Beverly and Princess-Penington, author of God's Best for Obedient Girls and Winning Souls Through Hoop Stitch Ministry.
Well, hello, everybody.
Okay, well, let's get this ball rolling. Reverend Bobby Lee.
Rick, that's Reverend Bobby Lee Lee.
Okay, Reverend Bobby Lee Lee. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, your journey of faith?
Oh, sure, Rick. I just love talking about my journey of faith. Well, first, let me tell you this. That you just are not going to go to heaven unless you believe in Jesus. And it is so easy. Why, we got it down to 3 steps. All you have to do is just repeat after me. Lord, I know I'm a sinner. Lord, I know I deserve hell. Lord, I believe you died for me. Please save me. Oh, wait a second. That's 4 steps. Dang, I added 1. Well, you know what I mean. It's just not that hard to be a Christian. Now, let's have every head bowed, every eye closed.
Okay, Bobby Lee, let's try to get back on topic here. We're here to talk about your journey of faith.
Well, now, Rick, I am a Christian. I am a KJV independent fundamental Bible-believing Baptist, just like John the Baptist all those many years ago before the Roman Catholic Church took over and just ruined everything. Well, anyway, I run the KJV Fundamental Baptist Radio Chapel of the Airwaves because Christianity is all about what's wrong with you, and we are here to talk about the sins of this generation.
Well, okay, that sounds really great. Let's get some perspective on that. Mrs. Beverly and Princess-Penington, do you have any comments to make on Brother Lee's statement?
That's Brother Lee. I'm Bobby Lee Lee. Well, the only thing that I'd like to say is that in a troubled society like ours, women just need to obey their husbands and be more submissive.
No, I gotta admit, I mean, I'm just this midnight DJ, but back when I was in school, in my sober moments, I remember reading history. Wasn't it women that formed the temperance union and actually, did a lot of good, like trying to get rid of the bars and get prostitutes educated so they didn't have to do that for a living? Wasn't that all women that did that?
Yes, well, of course, we cannot say when we're talking about exceptions instead of the rules, but we know that God has made man the head of the woman, and, the head is where the brains are, and it really is wicked if women start, wanting to use their brains. I just couldn't agree more with Mrs. Princess-Penington. I'm telling you.
Well, okay, I mean, can a woman come up with answers that maybe a guy never thought of? I mean, hey, let me tell you something about the lady I'm living with now. I mean, I get up in the morning, I say, man, I am beat. And then, I go out the door and she says, hey, Rick, you don't have any pants on. I think, oh, man, it's a good thing she's here. I've been walking downstairs with no pants on, and let me tell you, the last time that happened, I got into a lot of trouble. It was really, just pretty expensive to bail myself out and get myself back home. Cops weren't too happy. So, I mean, it seems to me like women, they really can have good ideas. I mean, she says, Rick, no, man, you don't want to get a tongue stud. I mean, that was actually a pretty good idea because my kid got one and he had an infection. It was awful. So I kind of think, sometimes women, they do come up with some pretty good ideas.
Here, let me help you out there, Mrs. Princess-Penington. Now, you seem to be struggling a little bit. See, Rick, this is what comes when a woman starts trying to think. I just don't go right. Let me tell you something. A woman who is under God's authority is looking for God's best for her life, and she's going to find it. Now, you get these women that get out from their father's authority, they don't have a husband, they're just directing themselves, and the best they're going to get out of life is God's second best.
Okay, I'm kind of confused about that because, like, okay, back when I was in college, we read books, we sit around and smoke stuff and talk about how we felt about the books, but I actually read, well, some of the New Testament. I just don't remember any of this being in the New Testament. I mean, like, shoot, wasn't it women that they were like the first ones that saw that Jesus rose from the dead, and they're telling everybody, and I mean, the men didn't believe them, but they didn't tell them to shut up. They just went to see what the women had seen to try to help them figure it out, and and then they got convinced. I mean, because they saw it too. So, it seems like women kind of help Jesus a lot. Like, I mean, as much as the men did, I mean, hey, wasn't there some chick in there somewhere wanted him to raise the dead, and that was before he rose from the dead, and he raised the dead for her? I mean, geez, that seems like, it took a lot of faith and, like, sort of understanding that this is what Jesus was all about, raising people from the dead and forgiving sin and all that stuff. I mean, wasn't that a woman that asked him to do that?
Well, yes, but again, you got this problem. You're going for the exceptions and not the rule. Now, let's talk about God's best for your life. In fact, I have a book on this. It's only $6.95, and it's available through the KJV Fundamental Baptist Radio Chapel of the Airwaves, and it is entitled How to Find God's Best for Your Life. And I got that down to 10 easy steps, and I'll even give you a few. One of them, don't listen to rock music. 2, dress appropriately. 3, clean your room. 4, don't make out with anybody. And this book is just, it's not doctrinal, Rick, okay? You're really getting on to doctrine here. Doctrine is dry, but I've got stuff that's, practical. It's for the practical Christian life on how to find God's best for your life.
Well, okay. All right. Well, we're just about out of time, and thanks. That was Rick Horsley with Midnight Chapel Hour. Kind of funny because we started at 2 in the morning. And we've been speaking with Reverend Bobby Lee Lee and Mrs. Beverly and Princess-Penington. Thank you very much. See you next time.